This is Lara Evans in Santa Fe, New Mexico, interviewing Linda Lomahaftewa, also in Santa Fe, New Mexico, on September 9th, 2020, for the Smithsonian Institution Archives of American Art Pandemic Project. Hi, Linda. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing an artist in residence over here at Vital Spaces here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So this is a studio space that I'm at right now.
Oh, great. So were there things that are different about your residency because of COVID?
I'm thankful that I was able to get this residency through the Institute of American Indian Arts. Gave me the opportunity to get out of the house and not be so worried about everything that's on the news and to come to a different place to work. So I'm really grateful for that.
Great. And how have you felt the impact of COVID in your life right now?
It's impacted me by not being able to visit my family and my son, and my daughter, and my grandkids, so and my friends. So it's been scary, but we're all trying to keep safe and protected.
So what does that mean? What do you have to do to stay safe and protected, and what is your family having to do?
Oh, well, having to wear masks in public whenever we go out, and make sure that we wash our hands and things are sanitized. Just being careful and not trying to be around too many people.
Mm-hmm. And I think you have some family at Hopi. Are they having to take additional measures?
Oh yes, at Hopi the villages have been closed to outsiders, so nobody can come in unless you live there. They do a checkpoint to try and keep the people safe. My sister lives out on the reservation, and she keeps me kind of up to date on what's going on out there.
And how are people there weathering it?
Well, in our village, the village of Shimopovi, Second Mesa, she has told me that a few people have passed away because of the COVID, but she didn't tell me who they were, so I don't know. It's just keeping me informed that way.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard any other people talking.
Are there things that you're not able to do right now that are really having an impact on you?
Only that I usually like to travel someplace during the summer, but I haven't been able to do that. Just sticking close to home.
Mm-hmm. So you're making a lot of work there. What are you thinking about while you're working?
Oh, yeah. So I've been trying to work in getting some new ideas going, and to me, the best way to start is just to put something down on paper or canvas or whatever, and then take it from there. So I've these are just like small pieces that I've started working on, and hopefully I can go to a larger size with them, and then maybe even use them in collage.
And were you able to do work before the pandemic, and then when it started, before the residency?
No, because I don't have a studio space at home. I basically work on my dining room table, and limited space there. So I'm really grateful being able to come over to the studio space and have, more than space to work from.
What's drawing your attention artistically?
Sorry, say that again.
What's drawing your attention artistically? What's drawing your attention artistically?
Oh, again, just the act of putting marks down on paper, just to get something going, and then the colors, I guess, would inspire me, because then it made me start working on small pieces with painting. And I like to do collage too. So I've been cutting up some of the smaller pieces and collaging on canvas.
What kinds of things do you miss right now that you look forward to resuming in the future?
Being around other people, socializing more, because I'm really a social person. I like meeting with friends and family, and just being together. So I'm looking forward to that, but I don't know how it's going to be, with in the future. Like, I guess we just have to be safer in our how we do things, like wearing masks and not being around too many people.
Mm-hmm. Are there ways that you've, I don't know, substituted for that?
Are there ways what?
That you've substituted.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Are there ways that you have substituted?
Well, yeah, I've been doing video chats with some friends, and then texting, some like my sister and other friends of mine that we text each other, letting each other know what's going on, and so that's really been helpful, being in contact that way.
And is that something that you did before the pandemic, or is it something new?
It's all new, not the video. Well, texting before I did, but not the video chats, and that's been really that's been new. So I like doing that, and then listening to lectures on video chat with School of American Research and the Co-Foundation of different artists, their culture, and their cultural ways and their art.
Oh. What kind of topics are those on?
They've been on beadwork, and the most recent one was Neven Southall from, well, she lives here in Santa Fe, but she's Anishinaabe, and she was talking about their cultural, the way that they dress, and beadwork and birch bark.
Yeah. So are you guys looking at artworks or looking at artworks on the screen, or how does that work?
Oh yeah, whenever the speaker is talking, they usually have, she had a really good presentation, PowerPoint presentation, of showing the maps of the regions, and then showing examples, like, on a board.
Are they showing works from the
Same
collection?
with the foundation. Yeah, like with the Co-Foundation, usually always addressing with the collection, and then the person will talk about that particular piece, and then related to the background of where they're from.
Right. So that it makes up in a little bit the the isolation, keeps you engaged with artists?
Sorry, what was the question?
Does it keep you engaged in thinking about art and working?
Oh yeah, because I was like learning about other cultures and Native American cultures and how they do things, and then see the similarities of being Hopi and Choctaw.
And do lots of people participate, or is it just you and a couple of people who you're already friends with?
Oh, there's a lot of people that participate, although they don't do Q&A until the end, and then people type in questions and ask them, more specific questions. I haven't been able to do that because I don't know how to type in the questions, so I just listen.
Oh.
But it's, I'm still learning.
I'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
Great. See, let me find another question. Has the situation complicated caring for yourself or your family?
Only that, it's that separation of not being able to see my son and my daughter as often as I would like to. I usually like to, my daughter would usually invite me to come over for dinner, and then I could be with her husband and my granddaughter. And then on the feast day, didn't have feast days, so we couldn't do that. And with my son, I stayed from them for a while just to be on the safe side because two little boys, 6 and 7, and we're all trying to be safe, stay in that distance. I talk to them on the phone or text them until they don't want to be around them.
So there's people are talking about the situation on the news and in newspapers and on the radio. And I was wondering if there's something you think that's missing from the accounts of this crisis. Something people aren't talking about that maybe we should.
Well, I think everyone's talking about everything, that's missing. To me, I think the leadership of our country could have been better, could be better, because the president of the United States has not been restrained at all to people, and it doesn't feel good when your leader can't reassure you that things are okay.
Mm-hmm. What kind of leadership are you thinking we should be looking for?
Well, there was one program that I listened to on NPR radio not too long ago. It was, or over the summer, about one of the governors from one of the pueblos, the southern pueblos, Acoma, and how he reached out to his people in the village, and him and other officials went to people's houses to go see how different households were doing. I just think that was really commendable, and it reassures the people that they're being cared about.
Do you see some overlap between some of the issues that are coming up around Black Lives Matter and the way COVID is impacting Native communities?
I think so. It brings attention to, that kind of unrest, and, because Native American, we're always pro-wild as well, and it just brings attention to people of color and how we're treated.
Did you lose some opportunities as an artist because of the pandemic?
There's been a couple of, I was supposed to give some talks that were canceled, but what I found is it got rescheduled, so that's going to be coming later. But everything was just kind of shut down for now, which is good. I mean, we need to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I said, now they're being rescheduled, so it's just going to happen at a later time.
Yeah.
And it'll be virtual.
Okay, so completely changing how things work is necessary. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
It's okay. It's like, a new normal. We just have to get used to all these changes and how we can do things in the future. But I think kids now have to do that, going to school, until they can actually get back in the classroom, if they ever will. We don't know. So we're all having to learn.
As someone who didn't grow up with this kind of technology that we're using right now, what do you think about impacts on the future from this big change?
Well, like I said, everything's changing now. It's just we just all have to learn a new way and how to get around it. So it is impactful.
Yeah. Imagine what your granddaughter's life will be like in 20 years, and how it will be affected.
I know. I have no idea. But I also think about, what about the, I mean, I'm an elder myself, but what about those that are even older that, can't get on the computer, or don't have that access to it? I don't know how it's been for them.
Yeah. There's a lot of places in New Mexico with no internet service at all.
That's right.
Yeah. You were in San Francisco during the 60s and early 70s, when there was a lot of social unrest. Do you see any parallels between then and now? What's different?
Yeah, it's been more impactful. I mean, back then it was like the Vietnam War, and peace marches, and but now it's all over. And to me, or I don't know if because of the media that we're able to see more of this, but protests all over the world. It's just that back then I'm not sure, like you saw some on the news. To me, that now you see it all the time on the news.
Oh, back then, were you concerned for your safety, and are you concerned for your safety now?
Back then, I don't know. I was going to school, so I wasn't really. Not that I wasn't concerned. It's just I mean, it was the Vietnam War, and people I knew that were going over to be in the war, like my own brother. I think he was able to come back, and but other people I knew went over, and the impact that it's left on them after being in a war is not good.
Does the scale of change that's happening now feel less than or more than back then?
Back then, I don't know. I would, again, I would have to say it's probably the same, but you just see more of it on the news today that you didn't see so much of back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Where do you see your artwork going next?
I'm wondering if my artwork is going to reflect, things that are going on now, that with the pandemic and the protests. I'm thinking about it, but I don't do it like, visually in my work. Although I do think about, all these things that are happening.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Linda, so much for speaking with me today about all these painful topics. Is there something that you look forward to doing when things get easier?
Again, I look forward to being able to socialize a little more with people. But we don't know how that's all going to play out. So I'm just thankful that I'm still able to do my art, and that I, can share it with other people.
Well, thank you, Linda. You take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Okay, take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.